Pardon me, Morty Vicar. Hey YouTube, X52708 here, and welcome to part 16 of my epic series of Q&A videos for my 500 subs. I missed a couple of questions from people earlier, so I'm going to go and do those on this part, and then I've had another page or two from people that have added questions on to the end over the last couple of days. So let's crack on with those. First of all, a chap called The Game Brew, so thanks very much for your questions. First of all, he asks, how many systems do you own? Quick count up earlier, and I've got 26. I think they should all be listed on my front page of my channel. I do try to keep that updated with the list of consoles that I've got, as well as how I'm doing towards my full Mega Drive collection. So all the systems should be listed on there. Second question, how many games do you own? I would say a quick total up earlier, but more of an epic count up. Currently I own 814 games. I am aiming, probably over the next couple of weeks, to trim down my collection a little bit. Basically, when I first started collecting again seriously back in April this year, I ended up buying lots and lots, so I ended up with quantity as opposed to quality, which, you know, I should think a lot of people fall into the same trap. So basically what I'm going to look at doing is clearing out the ones that, you know, I picked up and I didn't like, or games that I don't really play and can't see myself putting on again. What I'll do is I'll put them all into one big trades video to show you guys, and if there's any that you guys see that you're interested in, then obviously we can look to do trades ideally for some Mega Drive games. So yeah, we'll see how that goes, but the answer to your question, 814 at the moment. And last question from The Game Brew, what's your favourite game? Currently, well, it's always been on the Mega Drive, that's Streets of Rage 2. Current generation consoles, Batman Arkham Asylum and Prototype on Xbox 360, and Modern Warfare 2 currently on the PS3. Next question is from my good friend Cyanide Breath Mints. He asks, how extreme do you like your metal? Not as extreme as I used to. Back in the day I used to love listening to bands like Napalm Death. Nowadays I can listen to bands like that for a little bit, but not for hours and hours on end like I used to. So probably my favourite thrash metal bands, because that's the music that I'm into. My favourite thrash metal bands are Slayer and Sepultura, obviously, as well as Anthrax. And probably the most extreme metal that I'm into at the moment is a band called Send More Paramedics, which I believe is an American band, but they're classed as zombie metal, which you know, sort of goes well with my gaming that I'm into, survival horrors and things like that. Zombie metal, you know, for those of you that haven't heard of it, have a look for a video on YouTube called I think it's called Zombie Crew by the band Send More Paramedics. So you know, that's sort of music I'm into at the moment. So basically I'm not as extreme or not as into as much extreme heavy metal as I used to be, but you know, I can listen to it occasionally. So that was those questions, guys. So those were the ones that I missed off, and some additional questions that have come through the last couple of days. First of all, a few questions from my good friend Cessna Race, so thanks very much for the questions, Mark. He asks, have you considered adding a Japanese Master System to your collection? The answer in short is no. To be honest, I've never actually seen one. So I'm going to have a look on Wiki, and you know, have a look for a Japanese Master System, see what it looks like, and you know, how it differs from the the original Master System that I've got on the shelf behind me here. So I've never considered it, but after doing a bit of reading, I may well change my mind. Next question from Mark. Would you consider trading any of your Master System games for my boxed Atari 2600 games? Yes, I would. As I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, I am looking at trimming down my collection, so I think in my Master System collection I've got about 50 games, something like that. So there may well be, you know, half a dozen to a dozen games there that I do put up for trade. So if there is any, Mark, I'll drop you a PM, give you first refusal, matey. And yeah, I'll definitely be interested in trading for boxed Atari 2600 games, because currently the 50 plus Atari games that I've got are all loose cards, so I'll definitely be in touch, matey. So, last question from Mark. If Sega came out with a new console, would you buy one? Just because it's Sega, probably people are expecting me to say yes, because of, you know, my love of all the Sega consoles over time. But to be honest, I'll do what I do with every current generation console. I'll look at the games that are available for it. I'll look at what additional features, etc. the console gives, if it has online play, if it's something that you have to pay for, what built-in media playback benefits it's got, you know, if it plays DivX and things like that, and what the disc format is for it, the price of the games, you know, a whole load of things. So just because it's Sega, no, I wouldn't go out and buy it. I'd do my research the same as I do with all my consoles, and make sure it was you know, a piece of kit that I wanted to add into the collection. So there we go. I think a couple of minutes left, guys. So first of all, got some questions from Dan Central. He says, if you could be transported inside a game and explore it as if you are the game character, which would you love to travel inside and experience? I honestly haven't got a clue, to be honest. A couple of games off the top of my head, you know, I love all the wacky, weird and wonderful things, so something maybe like Castle of Illusion. So I wouldn't choose anything, you know, violent, I don't think. You know, although yesterday I did say, you know, maybe I'll go into the prototype game for just for a day. But, you know, to travel inside a particular game and experience it properly, yeah, something like World of Illusion, Castle of Illusion, or something really wacky like Super Fantasy Zone. That would be quite bizarre and quite trippy, I guess. So, and the last question, I'll make this the last one, and then I'll break off, and hopefully just one more part will see us complete, guys. So the next question from Dan Central is NES or SNES. Basically, up until a few months ago, you know, once I was back into retro collecting, I'd never owned a NES or a SNES. And to be honest, since I've added them both into the collection, I've really enjoyed the games that I've played on them. So it's a real tough one to call. If I had to specifically choose one for the selection of games that I've got and I've enjoyed the most, then I'd probably choose the Super Nintendo over the NES. But that's purely, obviously, because I haven't experienced a lot of the really good games on the original NES. So, you know, ask me again in 6 months' time, and, you know, that may well change. You know, with me having played more games on the NES and, you know, enjoyed them more. So, but, you know, based on current games that I've got, Super Nintendo. So, there we go, guys. We'll wrap it up there for part 16. And hopefully we'll be back in the next few minutes with the last part 17. So, thanks for watching, guys. And, yeah, bye for now.